Alright, so I'm going to do some Bagua barefoot on those sharp rocks. See if I can tell you what the point of all this is in the short time I have to talk about it. But the kind of the goal of the Bagua is you're going to walk in a circle or maybe even a figure eight, and then every now and then you'll stop and that right there, you'll do that. That's the Bagua arm change. I'll show you the applications for it later on. But right now, just focus on the walking. It's a no anticipation walking, no commitment stepping. So it's kind of like when you're starting off, you're going to go real slow, and you're going to you want to walk in such a way where you step forward and you push your foot out and you touch the ground, but then you can pick it right up and go back, right? You don't commit the weight over the foot until you feel the ground is there. You don't anticipate when you're going to find the ground. That way, when you step in a hole, you have a much better chance of pulling back out or just resetting your foot and stepping a little further or whatever you need to do. It's the same. I apply the same thing with my punching, as I've talked about before. You know, I'll reach for the bag and I don't commit to power till I feel the bag or whatever I'm going to hit, right? It really helps you to maintain adaptability, and that's what you want, especially in your footwork. It helps you with not rolling your ankles. I can't tell you how many nails it saved me from. That's a lie. I think I can tell you. No, it's going to be 3 or 4. 3 or 4 nails. I think the furthest in a nail has been about an 1/8, maybe a 1/4 inch deep. Nothing ever's gone all the way through, which, oh, thank goodness. Now here's some of the Bagua arm change application. I just kind of starting off slow, so you can kind of see the process. I messed one of them up, but it still kind of works. That's why you got to be adaptable. So yeah, I like that. That's a dip bar. I use the dip bar as little arms to kind of make myself a makeshift Wing Chun dummy that I can practice with. It works very well, just so well. Some cat got, now my dogs are after it. Well, they can't get out of the pen. I think that was the bad. I wasn't watching the video while I was talking. I was watching my dogs. I think that was the bad one. You can tell which one it is. I kind of stumble with the right arm transfer there. That's a nice slow one, so you can kind of see the process. The fast ones are really cool. I mean, yeah, the circling is so, like, yeah, as you can see, as I do the Bagua arm change, I'm still circling around my opponent. So see, my opponent, I'm going to try to turn my opponent with their momentum as I step around them. So I'm getting the nice sides of them where I get the liver, the kidney, the side of the neck, all the weak stuff. Now on the other side, if I'm using the same arm, I don't have to do the full change. See, I could just scooch it over and hit. I don't have to transfer it to the other arm. If you notice when I do it on the other side, when I'm leading with the left, which when I do Bagua, even though I'm right-handed, I like to lead with the left. I don't know why. But yeah, I transfer it to the right arm and then I hit with the left. And that really carries the momentum. But this works too, especially if they give you the momentum. Now, you know, when you're fighting somebody who's just as good as you or better, they're not going to give you the momentum. So that's why being strong is helpful. You know, everyone always says you need the technique. You've got the technique, you don't need the strength. And I'm like, yeah, if you're fighting people who don't know how to fight, absolutely that's true. But as soon as you come across somebody who's got the same amount of technique or skill or more strength than you, or just knows how to keep their momentum to themselves, the shit ain't gonna work. And you're gonna have to be able to use I use the hilt bar, the grandfather clock bar. I'll hook it up to a cable machine at shoulder width and I'll just pull it straight to me, right? I'll show you an example of it on another video, but you know, I could pull like 150, 160 pounds that way to me. So, you know, even if I only get a little bit of momentum, I got enough strength, I still pull them to me, do what I want with them. This is Tai Chi spiraling arm stuff right here. I'm just trying to smoothly spiral my wrist around in such a way that I maintain control. See how I keep my elbow down? I don't flare it out, because when it's down, like I talked about with the punching, the lat is locked in better and you have more stability. So between the Bagua arm change and the Tai Chi spiraling arm, you really get a good sense of how to adapt and flow when wrestling and messing with the arms. You become slippery son of a bitch and just absolutely annoying to other wrestlers.